BTN football analyst Howard Griffith joins us now. Howard, Mark D'Antonio, swift in his decision here, will not let the process play out to find out whether the charges turn out to be guilty charges or not. The charges alone, D'Antonio says, enough to dismiss these three players. Your initial reaction?
You know, I think he did the right thing. Absolutely, you have to be able to take control of your program and understand what you're going to stand for and what you're not going to tolerate on your campus. And I think this is a very clear message. And, you know, it's unfortunate, but this is a move that he had to make.
Mark D'Antonio said over the past 5 months, he didn't even want to talk about football because this was such a distraction. This is what was dominating his football program. Some will say that now that the uncertainty is over, they can move forward. Do you buy that? Do you believe that this can now be about football for the Spartans, or is there more to discuss here?
I think internally it can be more about football because this was a huge distraction, no question about it. And keep in mind, Rick, it wasn't just this incident. There were other incidents and other incidents that happened, and then you had some guys that, for whatever reason, have decided to leave the program. So there's been a lot of turmoil inside of that program, and I think now with this biggest issue being on the back burner now has been dealt with, they now can start to move forward and really focus on the guys that are going to be on this roster that are going to help them get back to prominence next year.
And some of those guys will have to pick up some slack and fill some fairly large shoes left behind. King played in 9 games, was likely going to be a starter at defensive end. Corley had the talent, Howard, to be one of the top pass catchers in the entire Big Ten. How much of an impact does this have on their football team?
Well, it's going to have a huge impact because, as you mentioned, those two and really all three of them were going to be significant parts of the football team this year. And Corley was one of the guys that I think you could make an argument was going to be one of the top pass catchers, at least projected, throughout not only the Big Ten, but I thought he had, you know, All-American type talent. So when you lose guys like that, you know, there's going to be some other guys that are going to get opportunities, but we have to find out just who those guys are going to be. They're not as known as, let's say, these three guys that have been dismissed were. So their coaches are going to have to coach them up. I'd say this. Some of those guys have had an opportunity, you know, since this incident happened till now to really get a lot of extra work in because I think behind the scenes, you know, they kind of may have had a feeling of where this thing was going or potentially could go. So I think it was incumbent on, you know, not only the coaches but also the players to kind of up their game to try to see if they would have a chance to seize the opportunity to go out and really be able to be major contributors to this team this year.
Of course, you guys will have a chance to see what it means firsthand for the Spartans when the annual bus tour resumes in August. Howard Griffith, BTN football analyst. I know you are fired up. You're ready to get going, but you still got a couple of months, my friend. We appreciate the time.
Okay. All right. Take care, Rick.